You trained all week. You felt unstoppable, every pass crisp, every touch clean. Then the whistle blows on the game that actually matters, and it's like someone swapped your body out. Heavy legs, rushed decisions. The simple pass you've made 10,000 times, suddenly you're snatching at it. If that's ever happened to you, hear this. It's not that you're not good enough. It's that nobody ever taught you what pressure does to a trained brain. So let me show you, because once you see it, you can fix it. There's a name for this, and almost every player alive has felt it. You train like a star and play like a stranger. And here's the good news. Your ability didn't disappear. Skill doesn't evaporate in 90 minutes. The pass is still in your legs. The finish is still in your boots. What changed isn't your talent. It's where your attention went. The second the stakes went up. And that one shift is the whole story of why your game vanishes. So let's get inside your brain. When you first learned to strike a ball, you thought about everything. Plant foot here, lock the ankle, strike through the middle. It was clunky, slow, conscious, but you repeated it thousands of times, and your brain moved that skill out of the thinking part of your mind and onto autopilot. Scientists call it automaticity. It's the same reason you don't think about how to walk or how to ride a bike. The movement just runs by itself without you narrating it. That autopilot is what makes you look so good in training. You're not thinking, you're just playing. Now here's where it breaks. The moment a game really matters, your brain does something that feels helpful but is actually poison. It says, this is important, don't mess it up. And suddenly you're consciously controlling movements that were meant to be on autopilot. You think about your feet. You micromanage the exact thing your body already knew how to do. Sports psychologists call this explicit monitoring or reinvestment under pressure. You reinvest conscious rules back into an automatic skill and you jam it. Picture a centipede walking happily along until a frog asks which leg it moves first. The second it thinks about it, it trips over its own legs. That's you in the big game, not weak, just overthinking a skill that should run by itself. And this is where the trap springs. You feel yourself underperforming, so what do? You try harder. You grip tighter. But trying harder at a physical skill usually means thinking harder, more conscious control, which makes it worse. So you dip again, you notice the dip, and you try even harder. Welcome to the trying too hard spiral. The more you care, the more you control. The worse you play, the more you panic, and it feeds itself. And the cruel part? It hits the players who care the most. So if this is you, congratulations. It means you give a damn. Now let's break the loop. Here's the good news. Everything we just described is a focus problem, not a talent problem. And focus is trainable. So here's your pre-match protocol. 5 things, and you can start this week. Number 1, focus out, not in. The research here is crystal clear. When you focus on your body, your feet, your technique, you perform worse. When you focus on the effect, the target, where you want the ball to go, you perform better. So when you strike, don't think lock my ankle. Think far corner. When you pass, see the spot you're hitting. Your body already knows the mechanics. Give your conscious mind something outside yourself to lock onto, and it stops jamming the autopilot. Number 2, collapse it into one word. You can't run a 10-point technique checklist in a live game, but you can hold one word. Pick a single cue that captures the movement done right. Smooth, explode, through it. One word replaces the whole checklist and triggers the entire automatic motion at once. Top players do this constantly. It gives your mind a job that helps instead of one that interferes. Number 3, build a routine and run it every single time. Watch any elite penalty taker, same steps, same breaths, same paces, every time. That routine isn't superstition. It occupies your conscious mind, so it can't interfere. And it tells your brain, this is normal, this is just like training. 2 breaths, 1 look at the target, 1 cue word, go. Same sequence in practice, same sequence in the final. Consistency on the outside creates calm on the inside. Number 4, and this one's backed by real research. Stop trying to calm down. When you're nervous, your heart's pounding, your hands are buzzing, and most coaches tell you, relax. But your body is already revved up. fighting it just starts a second battle. A Harvard study found that people who told themselves I'm excited instead of I'm calm actually performed better. Same racing heart, different label. Those nerves aren't a sign you're about to fail. They're your body getting ready to compete. Don't kill the energy. Rename it. I'm not scared. I'm ready. Number 5. Practice the pressure, not just the skill. Here's why you fold in games, but not in training. Training has no consequences. So give it some. Put a price on it. Last one to finish runs. Have someone film you. Play small games where the score actually stings. Research shows players who practiced while being watched were basically immune to choking. Later, they'd already felt the heat. Make training a little uncomfortable, a little high stakes, and the real game stops feeling foreign. Make training feel like a match, so the match feels like training. Playing worse in big games was never about your ability. It's your conscious mind grabbing the wheel from a body that already knew how to drive. The fix isn't to care less or try harder. It's to get your thinking out of the way. Focus outward, trust one cue, run your routine, rename the nerves, and rehearse the pressure until it feels normal. Even the best players feel everything you feel before a big game, they just don't let it reach into their feet. You already have the skill. The only job left is to get out of your own way. If this helped, hit subscribe and drop a comment. Which game did your whole game disappear in?